The cafe was already alive with the soft hum of conversation, the hiss of the espresso machine, and the occasional clinking of ceramic cups. Aisha adjusted her apron, wiped her hands, and smiled at the elderly couple in front of her. "1 cappuccino and 1 green tea," she repeated cheerfully, tapping the order into the register. "Coming right up." She loved mornings here. The rush of regular customers, the occasional laughter, the aroma of freshly ground coffee beans. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was honest, and she took pride in doing it well. That's when the door swung open, harder than usual. A man in a dark, tailored suit strode in, his polished shoes clicking sharply against the tiled floor. His eyes scanned the cafe quickly, and his jaw was set in a way that made him look perpetually unimpressed. Aisha offered her usual warm smile. "Good morning, sir. What can I get for you today?" The man didn't return the smile. "Americano, large, extra hot, and make it quick." "I don't have all day," he said, his tone clipped. Aisha kept her voice calm. "Of course, we have a few customers ahead, but I'll get to yours as soon as I can." His brows knit together. "That's not what I asked. I said make it quick." From the corner of her eye, she noticed the young man at the next register, Omar, one of the new hires, pause, his face stiffening. The room felt a little quieter. Aisha still didn't falter. "I understand, sir. We work in order here so everyone gets served fairly. I'll make sure it's ready as soon as possible." The man let out a sharp, disbelieving laugh. "Fairly? Is that what you call it when a paying customer has to wait behind people who order muffins and chat for 10 minutes? He gestured impatiently toward the elderly couple still gathering their change. Aisha straightened slightly, her smile fading into something firmer. "We treat all our customers with the same respect. Your order will be ready shortly." The man leaned on the counter, lowering his voice just enough for only she could hear. "Do you even know who I am?" Her first instinct was to roll her eyes, but she kept her composure. "No, sir, and it doesn't change the fact that there's a line." For a long second, they just stared at each other. His expression was unreadable, but there was a spark in his eyes, something almost testing. He finally stepped aside, muttering, "Unbelievable," as Aisha moved to start his drink. 10 minutes later, she placed the steaming cup on the counter. "Large Americano, extra hot," she called out. The man walked up, took the cup without a thank you, and inspected it like it might be wrong. Then he sipped it slowly, eyes still locked on her. "You didn't burn your fingers making this, did you?" he asked dryly. She blinked, unsure if it was sarcasm or genuine concern. "No, sir," she replied simply. He smirked faintly, then sat down at a corner table, not leaving as she expected. Instead, he watched the staff intently, like he was studying them. An hour later, the rush began to die down. Omar whispered to her while wiping the counter. "That guy, he's been staring at you the whole time." "I noticed," Aisha said quietly. "Probably just one of those customers who likes to find fault in everything." Omar frowned. "Still, the way you handled him, I don't think I could have stayed that calm." She smiled faintly. "It's not about staying calm for them. It's about staying calm for yourself." They both glanced toward the man in the suit, who was still sipping his coffee, expression unreadable. What Aisha didn't know, and what she was about to find out, was that this customer wasn't just anyone. He was here for a reason. And her reaction had already changed the course of her day. The lunchtime crowd had begun to trickle in, replacing the morning's coffee rush with a steady stream of people ordering sandwiches and iced drinks. Aisha had almost forgotten about the suited man in the corner. He was still there, still nursing the same cup of coffee, but now tapping on his phone occasionally. When the door swung open again, the general manager, Mr. Farid, walked in. That was unusual. He normally visited only once every few weeks for inventory checks or staff evaluations, and when he did, he came with advance notice. Today, he looked tense. His eyes scanned the cafe quickly, then landed on the man in the corner. Immediately, his posture straightened and he hurried toward him. Aisha, curious, watched the interaction while pretending to wipe down the counter. Mr. Farid leaned down, shook the man's hand respectfully, and spoke in a low tone. The man in the suit listened, nodding once, and then, to Aisha's surprise, pointed directly at her. A small wave of unease ran through her. She glanced at Omar, who raised his eyebrows in silent question. Mr. Farid began walking toward her, his expression unreadable. Aisha, he said when he reached the counter, could you come with me for a moment? Of course, she replied, though her stomach tightened. Had she done something wrong? Was this about how she'd spoken to the rude customer earlier? She followed him to the corner table. Aisha, the man in the suit began, you probably remember me. I do, she said evenly, meeting his gaze. You ordered an Americano. His mouth curved into the faintest hint of a smile. Yes, but I wasn't here just for coffee. He reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a sleek black business card, placing it on the table in front of her. Aisha Khan. Regional Operations, Blue Oak Coffee Group. No, wait, not her name, his. She read the name aloud. Ryan Malik. Underneath, in silver lettering, it said, Chief Executive Officer. Her eyes widened. You're the CEO. Yes. He leaned back slightly, folding his hands. And today, I was here to see something important. Aisha's mind raced. You were testing me. He nodded. We've been restructuring the company. One of the things I believe is that customer service is about integrity, not just smiles. I've been visiting stores without announcing myself, sometimes acting, let's say, less than pleasant, to see how staff handled difficult situations. Aisha stared at him. So, all of that earlier, the impatience, the comments, were part of the test, he finished for her. And you handled it better than I expected. You didn't give me special treatment, even when I hinted you should. You stayed professional without letting me walk all over you. She blinked, unsure how to respond. Do you know, he continued, how many people drop everything to please someone just because they think that person has power? Most would have bent the rules. You didn't. You put fairness first. Her heart was still pounding. I was just doing my job. That's exactly the point, he said. You think you were just doing your job, but what you did was protect the integrity of this place. That's the kind of leadership I need in this company. Mr. Farid, who had been standing silently nearby, smiled. I told you she was the real deal, sir. Ryan glanced at him and nodded. You were right. He turned back to Aisha. How long have you been working here? 3 years, she said. And in that time, have you ever considered moving up? She hesitated. I've thought about it, but opportunities are rare. And I'm not exactly the type to ask for promotions. He leaned forward slightly. You won't have to ask. I'd like to offer you the position of assistant store manager, effective immediately. It's not just about a title. It comes with training, leadership responsibilities, and a raise. What do you say? Aisha's mouth fell open. Are you serious? As serious as I was about that extra hot Americano, he said, smiling now for the first time. She laughed despite herself. I don't know what to say. Thank you. You earned it, he replied. The rest of the afternoon passed in a blur. Word spread among the staff, and Omar nearly dropped a tray when he heard the news. Customers overheard bits and pieces of the story, and a few even came up to congratulate her. But when her shift finally ended and she stepped out into the cool evening air, the weight of what had happened fully sank in. She thought back to the moment he had asked, "Do you know who I am?" She'd assumed it was arrogance. But now she realized it had been a genuine test, one she had unknowingly passed. A week later, she started her new role. The responsibilities were bigger, the hours a little longer, but she found herself energized in a way she hadn't been before. One afternoon, Ryan stopped by again, this time without the fake scowl. How's the new role treating you? He asked. Challenging, she admitted, but in a good way. Good. Because I'm going to give you another challenge. She raised an eyebrow. Another test. Sort of, he said. I want you to mentor new hires on handling difficult customers. You have a talent for staying calm under pressure, and I want others to learn from that. She grinned. You mean you want me to teach them how to stand up to the CEO? He chuckled. Let's just say, how to stand up for what's right, no matter who's in front of you. Months later, Aisha had mentored several new employees, each one trained not just in making the perfect latte but in holding their ground when needed. The store's customer satisfaction scores rose, turnover dropped, and the atmosphere became more positive. And every time she handed someone an Americano, extra hot, she couldn't help but remember the day her life changed because she refused to bend the rules for a man she thought was just another impatient customer.